Hey, it's the Scotch Test Dummies. We got a KAVALAN Sherry Oak. Is that right? Sherry Oak? Sherry Oak.
Taiwanese.
Hey, it's the Scotch Test Dummies. We got KAVALAN Sherry Oak.
I was making a weird face still. Sorry. Restart.
Hey, it's the Scotch Test Dummies. We got us a KAVALAN Taiwan Whiskey Sherry Oak.
Taiwan, baby.
It's got to be good. It's got sherry in it.
Sherry with oak and whiskey.
Let's test it.
Test it! Take a look. Boom, all right.
Super Scotch God. Let's give two Scotch God shout outs.
Two.
One, Roy Royce arranged for us to get this bottle.
Roy.
Thank you, Roy.
Way to go, Roy. I do have notes on this as well. You got this to me early so I can get some notes on it.
The second Scotch God shout out I have to give to Bart. Doesn't know this. He hasn't seen it. What do you see here? This is a new subscriber. It's just a shout out to a new subscriber.
All right.
William Lewis.
Right. He's got the green
and he's got
lantern.
my lime green lantern shirt on. The same shirt that I have and wear and get static for because it's lime green.
Right. He's basically a Scott fan. He's got love for the Scott going on there. He looks really casual. Like, look at me, selfie, pop.
I was going through the subscribers, see who had followed us, and boom, I saw him in that Green Lantern shirt, and I thought Scotch God shout out.
Yeah, he went the extra mile.
I guess I should have worn my Green Lantern shirt as well.
You should have. Yeah, but you've got.
But I've got on our
new
polos that we got.
The polo with the quilted.
Yes.
Sorry.
Boom.
The polo
I have
with
nothing
the
else
quilted dummies on it.
Ooh. Sherry and oak right on the forefront, punching you in the face.
I figured this is in your wheelhouse.
It is. That's why I got my notes. Sherry. There's a little bit of rubbing alcohol in there with it.
Yeah.
And almost a more lighter, more like a Pedro Jimenez finished sherry.
Well, here's what I have on my notes, and you'll get it at the very last part of the whiff of your nose. It reminded me of the sulfur smell you get from the old red roll of caps.
Yeah.
You know when you put that in your old 6-gun and pop, pop, pop? It's a little sulfur smell on the finish that you would get when the smoke from that gunpowder would burst.
Is it sulfur or charcoal? Or from the charcoaling of the barrel? Because I got a little smoke, I thought, which was more charcoal. It could be sulfur.
I literally had old red cap sulfur smell. And then I have darker fruit. And I get a wet plum. But it was funny. The first nose, I immediately saw myself when I was about 6 or 7 loading. You know, you'd flip the deal open. You'd load your cap roll in there. You can't even find these anymore. You'd feed it in. Can you? You still got those?
Yeah.
Well, the guns are plastic now. I had these cast iron pistols, 6-shooters. They were phenomenal.
They had a big explosion at one of the factories. Not the factory, it was like a distribution warehouse because they had cases of these things piled up, and it was like the compression of it, and something happened, and just one went, and it was just a
cascade. A cascade of cap explosion.
Friendly fire type deal, or sympathetic. One started setting on, it just exploded.
I'm just telling you, I had a black gun belt. It was the Lone Ranger with dual pistols with fake pearl handled grips. And gosh, I wish I could find those guns. They were awesome. Pop, pop, and they would just fire.
This is bottled at 46%, and the fine print on the front says matured in hand-selected, top-quality Spanish oloroso sherry casks. Dried fruits and raisin are the main characteristics of this unique Taiwanese whiskey. Now, what else is well known about Taiwan, or maybe not well known? When you think of KAVALAN or a Taiwan whiskey, what else comes to mind?
Well, I think of Vinho Barrique.
That was one of Jim Murray's whiskeys of the year as well. Okay. I'm thinking as far as age, Taiwan whiskey ages very quickly.
Right.
This is probably a 3-year-old whiskey. Yeah.
I'm thinking it's 2.
But it doesn't.
To me, it does show that
3 years in Taiwan is like 10 or 12 in
Scotland.
That's
what they say.
Yeah.
But this is an NAS, so we do not know. I actually love the label. It's got this muted, almost gem-like red to it.
Oh yeah, yeah, it is a pretty.
Yeah.
Even the color of the Scotch is
Yeah.
is nice.
So.
Or not the Scotch, the whiskey.
Sorry, yeah, the world whiskey. It's a single malt.
I start to get almost bourbon notes first, caramels and vanillas, a little bit of the oak, and then mid palate the sherry starts to come in.
This one finds me in a not happy place. I get astringent. I get the astringent, so is like cotton balls in my mouth, just sucking the moisture out. But then I get what I don't find as pleasing: a sweet and sour white grape,
Okay,
along with a bitter nut.
a little bit.
Yeah, and
I don't know about a bitter nut. I would agree with
that's the finish.
There's a little bit of sweetness. There is some sourness. There is a white grape. I've got oloroso sherry notes and almost more like PX sherry notes as well. And I just saw this. It says oloroso sherry cask. Usually your PX cask bring a little bit lighter, fruitier, citrus notes to it. And the darker sherry notes are in there, and then they're gone though. It moves quickly.
Man, that bitterness, I get a lot of bitterness on this right from the front. Stings the tongue. Then it moves into the sweet, sour, white grape. And then the finish is where the sweetness kind of rolls in on the white grape, but then that bitter nut rolls in on top of it. Meanwhile, astringency all the way through. My cheeks are like sucked dry. Let me try a little bit of water. 2 drops, please.
You don't have much there.
I know. Hoping it helps.
It's funny you said. I've got with the water brown sugar now, a little bit of coconut, some almond, and I've got in my notes there's something else going on in here. Maybe it's the younger whiskey, and that's probably some of the sourness, the bitterness that you're getting. I had it, I just didn't pinpoint it.
Could be on the nose with the water. It's weird. I get like a denim. Never had that before. I get like a jeans, like a denim jean factory. Not that
Cotton,
not that I've ever been in a denim jean factory.
Cotton. You don't want your classic cut Levi's?
Old show. Boot cut, acid washed, long hair, Bon Jovi. All right, the water softened it a bit. I don't get as much of the sourness, nor do I get as much of that bitter nut. I do not enjoy this neat. The water takes away some of the astringency, leaves a little bit more of the sweetness. I still get a little bit of that sour sherry, but it leaves more of that sweet palate sliding into the finish. A little bit more of a sugar cane. This is a must with water for me. A must.
I think I would agree. I think the water does help it. I didn't mind it neat. Astringency usually doesn't, or I don't mind astringency. I know a lot of times it's off-putting to you. And that could follow some of the wine caskings or the sherry casks and stuff that are used as well.
I don't enjoy dry wine.
I'm trying to keep it just so you don't see my score.
I don't see it. I didn't enjoy this. I played with it a lot. Just last night I was trying it, but my very first impression was astringent, sour, off-putting. The water helps it out a bit, but I feel like it's heavy lifting. This is an 82 for me. And without the water, like 80. I mean, it just the the bitter nut finish, which is gone with the water, left that last impression just kind of, And it was enough that I was like, I gotta try a second glass of this and play around with some water a little bit when I was tasting it the other night. And I even thought, man, maybe, I was almost thinking maybe it'll change a little bit today. I thought, did I eat something? Was there something that changed it? Yeah, I mean, I was just trying to figure it out. So 80, I'll give it overall 82.
So you're a plus or minus 2.
No, without water, 80. With water,
You don't
82.
score both.
I'm doing it.
You only one score. 81.
Doing it. No.
Right in the middle.
There ain't no
Split
plus
right
minus.
down the middle.
Ain't no. I'm saying 82 because if it rises with water, I'll give it the 82. All right. But when I had it dry, or when I had it, without water, I was like, oh. And I thought, let me add water, and it's an 82.
I went 89. I like it. There's a little bit, I'm getting it now. It is the bitterness. It's on the mid palate. It's not there in the finish, and it's gone pretty quick. And I think that's probably either from the sherry casks that were used or the youth of the whiskey itself, or a combination. You know, if this was a 10 or a 12 year, I think the longer maturation, just bringing out, wood tannins, oak tannins, sherry notes.
Well, the KAVALAN strength, for me, is the weakness in this bottle. The strength is that they do have a really quick turnaround, and they can experiment quickly.
Yeah, that's true.
But this, I'm with you. I do believe this feels young to me. This feels 1.5, 2 years. And maybe that sourness is the younger whiskey that's in there. And it almost feels like it was masked or attempted to be masked with some of the sherry and the oak that was in there. But, I don't lean as much sherry. I like the 46%. I don't lean as much sherry, but this one caught me dry or astringent and sour. That's it. It's me.
Dry, astringent, and sour in a good way.
And bitter nut. Not like in an okay way. So, I mean, I appreciate the flavor. I got to admit, the Vinho Barrique, if I'm saying it right, Vinho Barrique.
Barrique.
I really, really liked it. But I remembered it a lot sweeter, and part of it could be my expectations. As I went into this, I was expecting a sweet sherry. I even thought I might get like a sherry bomb. And that first sip was like, it was like when you're drinking a Coca-Cola and you accidentally grab your buddy that has unsweetened tea. And you're like, what is that?
Or, well, no, for me, it's the sweetened tea. I like unsweetened tea.
But
and
imagine if you're drinking
a
sweet Coca-Cola and you grab an unsweet tea and you get the bitterness of the tea. And that was kind of where, so mentally, I admit I was going in thinking I was getting ready to have like a sweet sherry bomb. And then it sent me astringent, sour, and nutty, bitter nut. And so it could be my own expectations led me down a weird path.
Now, the Vinho Barrique, when we did it originally, it was like $160 a bottle.
Yeah.
It's gone up since to $300 a bottle.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But there is one place in town I've seen it still has it. I think it's $200.
Wow.
If you want to go buy it. I've still got about this much left, I think, of my bottle.
If they ever do peated, I'm on board, baby. I could see them doing a peated, and I bet you they could turn around a great peated in about 3 years.
I was trying to think if they had one.
If they sourced some peated grain from Isla. Hello.
Or if they did a mix where they brought in
like a fusion?
Scotch and barley blended everything together.
Like a nectar? Or like passion. Like a blended passion.
Hey, thanks to our Patreon supporters for helping us out.
Yeah. Go to Patreon, look up ScotchTestDummies.com. You can support us for as little as $1 a month, or you can go way up. You can go crazy and do $3 a show. Buy
a Glencairn. Go to ScotchTestDummies.com. Buy a Glencairn. Buy a coin. Buy a T-shirt. Support us.
That's what helps us keep the show going.
That's right.
Free. Always free. Free. My husband rocks. Scotch it, you Scotch gods.
Cilantro. Dummies.